But there is one main topic here I want to scooch through real quick while we still have Culture and Chris and everybody else before they do get away from us. And that was the box office this weekend was back to lackluster again. No blockbusters.
Woo!
Now,
Yeah.
what's funny, and I brought this up to Andre, what was it, a month and a half ago, and you didn't realize it until I brought it up to you. And I'd say I don't know why Disney buried this movie, but there was a third Branagh Poirot film that came out this weekend, and nobody went to see it. And I think one of the main reasons is nobody even knew it was out
because they didn't.
Yeah, they did one of the crappiest campaigns in the history of campaigns to advertise this movie. It started with a really decent teaser trailer that went nowhere. I didn't see any advertising. I didn't even know it was out myself this weekend, Andre. I'd forgotten about it.
Yeah. No, I knew the movie was out, but you know why? That's only because I was aware of it after the discussion that we had right here on Midnight's Edge in the morning, when we were talking about, oh, that movie is coming, like a Haunting in Venice or something, and you were like,
yeah,
oh,
it's the Halloween part they changed
movie.
It. Yeah,
and I was like, wait, that's a Poirot movie?
Yep.
And yeah, I had literally no clue. And what I've noticed is that in many locations in Europe, they have changed the title back to the original A Mystery in Venice and added Agatha Christie's to it in order to sell it more as a Poirot movie, obviously because they realized that the American marketing of this is just a generic horror movie, period piece no less, that has nothing to do with the Poirot franchise. I don't know why they would do that, because based on the trailer, which I flicked through, I had no idea it was Poirot.
Yeah, because the teaser trailer works in that sense, but they needed a better second and third trailer, which they did put out some, but they just basically you needed Poirot to find the advertising campaign for this movie.
Oh,
kind of, yeah.
Let me tell you. Let me tell you this much. It was very disappointing, and I thought it was very confusing for an audience that was going to be looking for an Agatha Christie movie. I saw a lot of the horror elements of this in multiple different films that I went to see in the trailer, and that's the best they had to offer, which means you had a very confused populace that wasn't going to find this film and or go to see it, even if they knew about it, because it didn't look like a traditional mystery film. And so sorry, there's a formula for advertising mysteries, just like there's a formula for advertising horror. Yeah,
right. I liked how the teaser worked. It made you feel like you're going to get one of these typical haunting films, and all of a sudden you got Poirot at the end there, and it's like, oh no, he's going to flip the lid on this shit. Right. So like that, and they just didn't advertise the movie. They didn't put any money behind it, which is, I'm surprised the movie even got a third film, considering how bad Death on the Nile failed. But anyway, yeah. How did the box office fare go?
I actually saw the movie.
Oh, how?
I really liked it.
Better than Death on the Nile, I hope.
I actually didn't see Death on the Nile, so I couldn't.
You missed nothing.
Yeah. I saw the first one, which I thought was okay. I never got around to watching Death on the Nile because I only thought the first one was okay. Whereas this one had me intrigued because I had no idea it was a Poirot movie until Tom alerted me to that fact. And then I checked it out, and I actually really enjoyed it. I thought that the movie on its own right, it's really, really good. It had a very nice message in it, which is easy to misunderstand. But in the subtext, it's a message that I think that many will enjoy. It's actually very anti-Hollywood in the sense that it's a very pro-religious movie, because the setup for the movie is that Poirot, it takes place in 1947 after World War II, after a bunch of horrible mysteries and stuff like that, and Poirot has lost his faith in humanity. Not only that, he has also lost his faith in God and existence and what's the point of it all. And so he has even stopped resolving mysteries, because what's the point of anything? And then he basically gets hijacked or shanghaied into this situation right here, because he is in Venice anyway. This is where he has retired away from the people. So he's kind of like this recluse who has hired a bodyguard to keep the masses who are desperate for him to help them away. And then he's shanghaied into this one thing to basically to reveal what he thinks is going to be a fraudster that is claiming to be a medium, and then suddenly it's this larger thing. But the underlying theme that goes through it all is him getting his faith back, and with that, his will to live back. And I thought that in this day and age, that's a very surprising message to come out of Hollywood. But then again, it's not really coming out of Hollywood. It's coming out of Kenneth Branagh. So without knowing anything about the previous movie, I thought that this was actually a really good, clever movie with some twists and turns that I didn't necessarily see coming. And I especially did not see the subtext coming. So yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was clever and good, and I'm saddened to see it not do any better than it's doing. But I blame that on a really misguided marketing campaign, which tries to sell this as a horror movie in the style of The Nun, and it is not that at all. It needed to be sold under the proper flag of a whodunit, which is exactly what it is. Because what they've tried to do here, not so much the movie itself, you have like some genre-bending tendencies, but they are explained within the context of the movie. The true genre bending here is in the marketing, and the marketers, they botched it.
Yeah, I'm looking at this and I'm kind of trying to figure this out. Did he shoot these like back to back or something maybe, and they've been sitting on a shelf for a while? Because I didn't realize that Death on the Nile only came out last year. I thought it came out a couple of years ago.
I couldn't tell you.
Because, like, I'm wondering, like, how did he have time to shoot all these movies with the lockdowns? I wonder if he didn't have these in production already with Fox before Disney acquisition. And
it is the Fox logo that comes up there.
That's what I'm wondering.
Or rather, it's the 20th century. Should have been Fox logo that comes up at the beginning.
I don't know. I maybe have to dig into this a little bit more, because
I mean, I was also curious about that.
I thought that Death on the Nile had come out a couple of years ago, because the Murder on the Orient Express was already a couple of years old. So I wonder if he just didn't film these back to back or something. Yeah.
All of our internal calendars have been messed up the past 5 years.
That's what I mean.
I'm sure that everyone who is listening in the audience, you'll all be able to recognize that all our internal calendars are messed up.
So yeah, because Paulie says death was delayed. That would make sense too. And he also loved Haunting. I think Michelle saw it this weekend as well, and she liked it. Now, Chris, have you seen it yet? I can't imagine you haven't, but I would be surprised if you haven't.
I saw it.
Oh, he's away.
He's getting coffee.
Yeah.
Right. I was grabbing more coffee.
No problem.
I did not like it as much as Andre did. In fact, I really disliked it. So.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
but I can see this because my wife disliked it too, and she loves Agatha Christie. So that's actually a bad sign in our household when the Agatha Christie fan didn't like it, and me, who generally don't care for whodunits, I liked it.
Yeah. So. I did not like it as well, and not surprised that it didn't perform well. A friend of mine saw it on Thursday night, the night it opened. He said he was the only person in the theater. He literally was sitting in a theater by himself watching this film. So, anyways.
So how does this stack up against the last two then, Culture? You don't have that probably handy, I suppose. So I'm looking here. It says Death on the Nile did 137 worldwide, 91 domestically. I don't have a budget in front of me either, though.
Yeah, it's I mean, I can pop in here and look it up.
The listed budget is 60 million.
That's not too bad.
No, it's not too bad. So they should be fairly okay.
Well, that's probably I see. I think Death on the Nile was a little bit more expensive, because that one I didn't hate it, but like there's changes in Murder on the Orient Express. Some I didn't care for, some I didn't mind. Death on the Nile, I think, is even more changed from my memory. And there's stuff in there that I just kind of scratched my head at. But overall, it's just a longer, more boring movie, I guess, if there's a problem. And the Venice one, though, looked a little bit more interesting to me from the very start. So I'm glad to hear you liked it, Andre. but I'm sad to hear Chris didn't.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was hoping that this would do well because there's a ton of these stories that they can adapt. And this is like a perfect character for Branagh, for better or worse, and how the stories are going. I love his take on the character.
They do have one problem though with Poirot, and that's kind of like the problem where, like, if the Poirot rights were ever to be sold, I wouldn't want them if you threw them after me for free. And the reason is that all the Poirot stories, every last one, all of them have been adapted before, and they have adapted in absolute perfection by actor David Suchet, who is the embodiment of Poirot. He can never be bettered. He can never be outdone. So the only thing that you have left are alternate takes on something that has already been done to perfection. It's kind of like the original Lord of the Rings trilogy, right? Yeah, you can remake that, but it has to be some alternate takes, because for all intents and purposes, it's already been done to perfection. So too, it is with the Poirot stories. What we have here are alternate takes on something that's already been done to perfection. That's a problem that they have here.
That may be for you guys over there, but like over here in the US, I didn't even know those existed until recently. So I don't know how well they're known here in the US. Like the Peter Ustinov movies are known here in the US.
Yeah, well,
I didn't know about that series until I started researching some of this shit.
Yeah. That series, that's the definitive. Like all other Poirots, they practically never happened, because that is the perfection in that series with David.
And then I know the Albert Finney one too. That's what I'm saying. Like I was not aware of the series until you brought it up, but everybody who has brought it up to me has said that is kind of the.
Well, didn't that series premiere on A&E? Because I think that's where I saw it, at least domestically over here.
I don't know if it got to the US or not. I'm sure it may have, but it was somewhere I never noticed it.
The whole thing is even available on Blu-ray.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying I don't want to see it and check it out, because that's what everybody has said, that's the more definitive take on the character, and they did adapt all the stories already and everything.
Every last one.
PBS aired it here. That's probably why. That's where I would have never seen it. Probably
Never watched PBS growing up. Okay,
not too often. I mean, I would once in a while, but if it looked British and snooty, it instantly got changed.
This one definitely falls into that category.
Exactly. I wouldn't have watched it long enough to realize what it was, kind of thing. Yeah, see, it's Paulie's backing that up too. Yeah. Little drab for me, PBS. I mean, now as an adult, I could probably watch it, but depending on when it started airing here, I definitely I barely watched Doctor Who as a kid.
Actually, Tom, I submit that if you were to watch this and give it a chance, you'd get into it fast.
Oh, I probably would. I love mysteries. I love detective stories. That's why I liked the first film, and I went to get the Nile movie, and was a little disappointed, but yeah. Because I'd forgotten how much I enjoyed these films. Because I was trying to remember. I think I saw Murder on the Orient Express as a kid on television, like 6 or 7 years old. And, when they used to make the big deal out of the, like the Sunday night movies and shit like that, on NBC and, all that stuff. But yeah, and I think wouldn't that be the Ustinov one or whatever, I think. Yeah, but I'm getting mixed up with the other one maybe too. But anyway, point being, it didn't do well. The Nun actually came in with a strong second weekend, as it says here, culture. The Equalizer fell off another 40%. Where's that?
Unbelievable to me, because that's one of the best movies of the year. You ask me.
What's funny is this just updated like in the last few minutes, because it wasn't there this morning when I checked first. Big Fat Greek Wedding was listed in 3rd place. Ooh. So yeah, I don't know what's going on. There's maybe an effort to keep Equalizer from making numbers on this page, but this is the second weekend in a row that it's been taking it a while to get there. But look at this. I mean, it had a 40% fall off. I really think that that this film is probably one of the best of the year, if not the best of the year, despite the fact that I may have seen it more recently, Tom. But 7 million. Yeah, that's gonna bother me. Big Fat Greek Wedding is supposedly just terrible and boring. So it probably didn't cost.
How many times can that bitch get married?
I think it's just another family member.
I know. I'm just joking.
This clip was taken from Midnight's Edge in the Morning, which streams live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific Time on the Midnight's Edge main channel. There, you can send in your live questions and comments before clips and full stream replays are uploaded to Midnight's Edge live archives. We are also on Twitter, Rumble, Odyssey, and Facebook, so smash that like, help share, subscribe, and join us.